Committee will come to order. Chair recognizes Mr. Kline.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here, for your testimony, for your extraordinary service to our country. I very much appreciated, General Dempsey, your testimony, and you mentioned that the families have stood with us, talking about our men and women in uniform, and stressing the importance of keeping faith with the true source of our strength, and that's our people. And it's in that line, in that vein, Mr. Secretary, that I want to raise a subject that I've raised in the past in this committee, and that's the subject of the sort of convoluted name of the Post-Deployment Mobilization Respite Absence Program, PDMRA. And although the name is a little convoluted, it's pretty straightforward. DOD enacted this program back in January of 2007 with the express purpose of taking care of our troops, recognizing that we have men and women deployed for extraordinarily long periods of time, and rewarding them with this program so that they could spend more time with those families, the families that have stood with us, and so that we could keep faith with our men and women in uniform and their families. This program has been in effect and running, doing what it's supposed to do, easing stress on our men and women in uniform, rewarding the families, and then on October 1st of 2011, the Department came out with a new policy. And it came out with this policy, of course, it affects soldiers who are deployed today to Kuwait or Afghanistan, changing the number of days that you can get as a reward for extended periods of service. And you could have a negative impact of over 3 or 4 weeks in some cases because of this new policy. And so I understand the Department is perfectly allowed to make policy changes, but I'm very concerned that it looks like there's no provision for grandfathering those that are overseas now. And we have a part of a brigade combat team of the famous Red Bulls out of Minnesota and surrounding states that are over in Kuwait right now, and there's a lot of confusion about what the policy is going to be. I think it's important that we keep faith, that we not change things around during the middle of a deployment, and so we don't have our soldiers sitting over there wondering and their families wondering what this policy is going to be. So I have a question for you, Mr. Secretary. Will you grandfather this new policy so that the soldiers that are deployed now get what they thought they were going to get when they deployed? And it applies to all, but I'm particularly talking about members of the Guard and Reserve who are making decisions based on these sorts of policies. So if you know that answer, I'll take it now. If you don't, I'd take it for the record. I actually sent you a letter a month ago, January 18th to be exact, requesting the answer to this, and I understand from talking to your staff that that's in the works, and I'm going to get an answer. But I just think it's really, really important that we keep that faith and that we not change policy, we not have that kind of an impact on our men and women in uniform. So that's my first question.
Congressman, if I could just respond to that. We are looking at that program. It is an important program, and I'm looking at the implications of what happened with the policy change to determine whether or not we should make any adjustments. I'm not going to make any promises to you, but I will assure you that I'll take a hard look at that before we get you the answer.
Please do, and I would just reiterate that, in my opinion, from where I'm sitting, looking at my own experience and talking to many of my constituents and many people from Minnesota who have been really impacted by these deployments. The Red Bulls had the longest combat deployment of any unit, active reserve, National Guard, and any service. And so I just think it's really important that we keep faith with those men and women. Now, I have another really quick question. I know you've answered this before, but I see that we're talking, and I think General Dempsey, you mentioned that we're looking at, or the Secretary, both of you talked about modifying the retirement system for our men and women uniform. I just want to underscore again that any such changes will not affect those already serving. Is that correct?
Our position, strong position here, is that all those that are currently serving would be grandfathered in under the present system. As the Commission reviews future changes, they're not going to be affected.
Thank you. My time has expired, Mr. Chairman.